Hi, everybody. Welcome to Echo 4. Today's video, we are talking about which MCU video.
We ain't adding in this shit. Keep on going. We're talking about.
Hi, everybody.
Damn.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Echo 4. Today, we are going to be talking about which MCU show is better. We have WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki. Before we get into it, let's say hi to our friends. Go ahead.
Your boy, the Mad Prince, Jangling.
And it's your girl, Drea. I'm going to shake my head while I process that.
And your boy, Ken Sign. How y'all doing?
I'm drinking this rum straight. It hurts.
Does it hurt like that, Henny?
Hit you right in the chest.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into our opinions about which show is better. I'm curious to see actually what you all think because I don't know. I'm curious. So now that we watch WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki, we can compare and contrast the elements of the show that worked and did not work for the future of the MCU. WandaVision gave us a deeper look into Wanda Maximoff's psyche and the immense power that she unknowingly had. The Falcon and Winter Soldier gave us a dark reality of the different Americas, our hero's face, and Loki. Well, we figured out what makes Loki tick. So himself, yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and jump into this first point. What show did you enjoy the least and why? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Damn, you actually have one to choose? Go ahead.
Oh, I already got an order already written out. I'll show it at the end, but yeah, okay. I have my rankings already. But yeah,
okay.
My least enjoyable one for me was WandaVision. Okay. I enjoyed the concept of it. I enjoyed the premise, the story as well. It just didn't really capture me the same way the other series had when it came to just, I would say, being Marvel. It was a little too different from what I was used to with the rest of Marvel content to really like get me more immersed into it. I would say so. I enjoyed it, but yeah, it was the lowest, at least when I enjoyed out the three.
Okay, interesting. Actually, that kind of makes sense to me. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Will. I don't have one.
Okay. I'm gonna say my favorite was
least favorite.
Oh, least favorite. Okay, my least favorite. I'm gonna have to say Falcon and Winter Soldier. Not to say that it's bad. It's my least favorite, like relative to like the other two. It's really because fucking all the Captain America stuff is usually almost always the most grounded of all of like the MCU movies and shit, and like I'm someone who really likes like fantasy and science fiction, and that's what I've always ravaged towards too. Not to say that I didn't enjoy Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like what it was talking and like the points that it were making, but like if we're talking about purely entertainment purposes, yeah, I enjoyed that the least, because I can't see myself going back and constantly rewatching that comparative to the other two because of those reasons.
Okay. Oh, that actually surprised me. So okay, Drea, what about you?
It's hard. It's hard because I enjoy them all for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. Well, which one would you not go back to? Maybe that can help you out.
Okay,
that's actually an easier question.
Oh, the one I won't go. Okay, I won't go back to the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I won't go back to that one.
Why?
I would just say some things a bit too on the nose and preachy, especially with the ongoing, of how everything's going in the world today, as in the messages they were telling. It was not for me. I didn't need to learn that. I live that. So I get it. So it's like, yeah, some things were just too on the nose, especially when you have the flag smashers and whatnot. But I did like the growth of Sam. So I'm like, there were some things that I'm like, okay, you get it heavy handed. I get what that's for, but there are other things to like about it. But if there's one that I'm not going to rewatch, it would probably be that one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna say it's Falcon and Winter Soldier, and literally because it was so preachy, felt like that message was not for me as a Black woman in America. I already know all of this stuff, so it just and also I felt like the payoff for the what's that little girl name
Carly.
I did not like how that kind of like played out, and yeah, it was just mostly preachy, and I did really like that it was kind of centered around Steve Rogers. You know, he wasn't like, obviously it was a character study on those two, Bucky and Falcon, but like Steve Rogers was like the center of it, and I just feel that, you know, I don't know, I'm
You was ready to move on.
I'm tired. Yeah, it's like, let this man be an old man and we move on. So yes, so that is my least favorite. All right. Any rebuttals? Anybody want to address anything before we move on to the next point?
I just want to say, when it comes to Falcon Winter Soldier, yeah, he looks distressed. I just want to say with Falcon Winter Soldier, I know how you feel, Will. When it comes to that, it's like it was more of like a dismissal of Steve Rogers as Captain America and like the transition. It was just, so yeah, he was there as like overhead, as like it was foreshadowing the transition, and it also, I did like how it incorporated the view of how the rest of the world was affected by the blip and stuff. That was a good perspective.
Okay. And I can definitely agree with that. I thought that was very interesting to see how the world would turn out after the blip, for sure.
Well, WandaVision was a lot more
very
isolated. Yeah. So it is a story that it could or could not exist, and it wouldn't have affected the greater timeline at that point. Well, it may, we'll see, but
okay, cool. Let's move on to the next point, which is, what show did you enjoy the best? Which one are you gonna be playing, you know, a few times in a year, you know, maybe, I don't know, once or twice over the year? Which one did you enjoy? Who would like to go first the most? And I'm so curious to see y'all responses.
As in, like, if I have to rewatch one again, I'll definitely have to rewatch Loki. It's such a more expansive than WandaVision. WandaVision is really almost like a personal character study, trauma story of Wanda. I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoy the sitcoms. I enjoy those references. I even was trying to think of which TV series inspired which opening and whatnot. But, you know, which one made a permanent more impact in the MCU is kind of obvious. And especially with, I guess, how that, you know, the TVA operates is so much more interesting setup. Even the whole setting of the TVA had such a distinctive aesthetic that I'm like, ooh, I could taste it. I could feel it. Even though that this set probably does not exist. It probably was all 3D, but I'm like, damn, I love the vibe of it all. I love the whole art direction. So yeah.
Oh man, I definitely agree with you on that art direction. Can you go next?
Yeah, it for me also, Loki overall is my favorite of three. Not just art direction, but also overall inclusion, how important it is in the greater picture, and how it has like all these additional droppings like Easter eggs and other stuff. Like it's very fun. It's very entertaining. Overall, like it achieved what it was coming out for. There were some points where it feels like it definitely needs more content especially towards the last episode. But overall, like out of the three, I definitely would rewatch Loki more. I actually, out of the three, when it comes to our content, I have rewatched Loki a lot more than I've rewatched the other series, because Falcon Winter Soldier is heavy. It's heavy content. It's like and you don't want to like deal with rewatching heavy content all the time. Like it was good, but yeah, it's heavy. It's hard to deal with that. But with Loki, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed especially Easter eggs. And so
Yeah, that's his thing. He loves finding the Easter eggs. So definitely, I was blind, so I was like, I gotta watch a video to catch these Easter eggs. Well, what do you think? Which one
Uh,
did you like the most, and
Definitely
why?
Loki. Loki. Honestly, if I had to compare Loki with WandaVision has a way more unique idea. But the problem with WandaVision, me personally, that I had was the pacing. Pacing was really slow getting into. It really took halfway into it for like shit to actually like get the ball, like for shit to start rolling, and like that was, I really hated that. With Loki, you get you jump right into it, and it's like things are happening consistently, and it gets you invested in like what's going on next, what's about to happen next. There's always a level of suspense there and a level of intrigue there that WandaVision didn't quite have. And like everyone else said, Falcon and Winter Soldier it's a real heavy piece, and then it's hard to rewatch that shit. Loki I've rewatched several times while it was airing, and because I have favorite moments in that, so on and so forth. So Loki would be my pick.
Okay. Well, I'm
What about you?
conflicted. Oh, I'm
Mhm.
so conflicted because I
Ah.
really
Between.
enjoyed WandaVision and Loki. I just thought WandaVision just did so many unique things in the MCU. It just had such a different take than the traditional like
Mhm.
MCU
Yeah.
like property in general. But I would agree with Will. It was a slow burn in the beginning.
Actually was okay with that. I'm probably one of the few people that is okay with those 3 episodes. I'm
And you
like, I'm
know
gonna
what?
watch Wanda be happy. Wanda went through some shit. I'm like, let her enjoy this cute little sitcom shit. Sure,
It
stuff
was
in the background is off, and I'm taking notes of it. But my dad was cringing. He like, I can't sit through this. I watched this black and white shows as a kid.
yeah, I was about to say
I'm not gonna watch it now. I'm like, stick through it. No, I
Paid too much.
refuse.
I paid too much money for 4K and HD, HDR, bro. This is
to
bullshit.
go back to black and
HD black
white.
and white, that
Man,
grayscale.
he was
Yeah,
not going for it.
as far as like rewatchability, it definitely would be Loki. And but I do think WandaVision gave us something very unique to the MCU. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it's Loki because that's something that I can watch over and over again. And there were so many moments that I it stands out in my head even now talking about it. And like quotes, moments, fights, like it was just a lot of things that I can just like, like it's just stuck in my head. Unlike WandaVision, there were just like maybe a few moments, but like overall, Loki was more impactful for me.
Mhm.
So that moves or lead us to the next point. Which show has you most excited for the MCU Phase 4 movies?
I think that's kind of obvious.
Mhm.
I'm gonna disagree, but
Oh, okay,
I
that's
got.
fine. I'm
I
good with
want me
it.
to start off. I
I'm
can
good.
start off.
Yeah, start some shit. I'm with it.
Okay, WandaVision. And I'm gonna say because that ending scene where she was out there, I guess, and you can hear her kids. We talked about this already, like off screen, but she was trying to figure out how to get her kids back. Also, Vision, White Vision is just out here. Vision is out here. Just out here willy nilly, and I'm just curious how he's gonna like make his way
Right.
back to the MCU.
There's a lot of loose strings with WandaVision.
It's
I'll give
so
it that.
many loose strings, and also because I always liked Wanda in the MCU, and I always felt like they didn't give her the credit that she deserved until like towards the end when you saw her in Endgame and she was about to fuck up Thanos. Like I was just like, okay, obviously this girl's powerful, and now we see her unlocking her potential. And I'm curious to see how that's going to play a part in Phase 4 because Doctor Strange is a sorcerer. Wanda is a fucking, I guess, a witch. I don't know what this, like, she's a witch. And like, how, like, she seemed like she has more power, but it seemed like Doctor Strange has more experience. So I'm curious to see how she's gonna fit in phase 4 with her immense power.
Vibranium dick does wonders for you. Shit.
You said what?
Vibranium dick does wonders for you.
Shut up.
Is that a toy? I need to look that up. There's a
there's probably
place.
some amazing. Yeah,
I'm
probably
Googling
amazing.
now.
What is vibranium dick a toy? I'm sure it is for somebody.
All right, that was my thought.
Wakanda forever.
Shut up.
See, now I'm gonna go on geekysextoys.com. I'm gonna see if that shit's already on there.
Jungle fever.
They call it the colonizer. I'm sorry. You know, I tried to do this whole time shit, and I haven't made a joke in the last fucking 10 minutes. You know what? I tried. I legit tried, Brittany.
He held in there with.
I tried.
You did.
Fucking boy, y'all.
But that was a good
y'all
joke.
had some great fucking setups, boy, and I'm just sitting here drinking this rum and slowly dying inside,
I know.
bro. I hate it here, bro.
Oh god. So, no, see. The point is not to be so not strict, just to test and see how it is. So I'm glad you said the joke because it was a good joke and now it's stuck in my head forever.
Vibranium.
Colonizer. I'm about to take this
Forever.
colonizer out. All right. Who wants to go ahead and give? It seemed like most of y'all probably got the same answer, but
as you know, at the end of Loki did not make me excited. It made me anxious. That is not a fun feeling.
Okay, made you anxious.
As in, it was such an underwhelming ending, and it's like you just left me on a cliffhanger, and I'm not gonna get any results till next year. I'm not excited. I'm irritated.
Okay, that's honesty right there. What about y'all?
What has me most excited is actually Falcon and Winter Soldier.
What?
Because
Sharon and Contessa got you excited?
Because we have a new Captain America, who, if you think about it, the last whole phase it started off with Captain America, and it pretty much ended with Captain America and Tony Stark. It's like he's the first Avenger. And towards the end, especially in Endgame, he was the one that was there facing against Thanos and the whole army, and he's the one representative of this whole force. Again,
he's the leader.
Yeah. So now we have a new Captain America. So now we'll see how he's going to fit that role and lead, and how I feel like he's going to have somehow succeed in that even better. But I'm excited to see how it's going to take place in this new phase. So
that was an answer I was not expecting. And that kind of makes me excited too, because all right, now we got a Black Captain America. Not that Black is gonna be the reason why he does better, but it's just another perspective on America and how is that gonna play a part in the MCU, especially because Steve Rogers was the leader of the Avengers, not Tony Stark. Tony Stark he was making a whole bunch of fucked up mistakes. Ultron and all types of shit. Yeah, that's interesting.
Captain America was the lead, but Tony Stark gave us substance. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
fucking up the timeline long enough to give us some movies. Thank you.
Here comes the Avengers, led by Captain Southside.
Captain Southside.
Hey, you know what? Ironically, wow.
As soon as he lands, he's like, "What it is, ho?
What's up?
Can a nigga get in your guts? No, can Uncle Sam get in your guts?
Wow,
because he literally is Uncle Sam. That's funny. He's literally Uncle Sam.
While Bucky trying to be his brother-in-law.
Trying to be
Sarah.
Right?
Bucky doing fine all by himself, Joe. Bucky.
Hey,
Sarah. That's the colonizer right there.
Wakanda cave niggas, Joe. That's the colonizer, bro.
And she was looking at him like,
I mean,
and Sam's like,
Sebastian?
nigga, we on my boat. Don't be looking at my sister.
Don't be trying to talk to my sister. All right,
Be
Will,
like-
let's hear yours.
Be like, nah, nigga, I'm 106. This is dick with history, bro. Everybody can get it. Shit. Fuck.
So much pent up energy.
I'm trying to keep this shit concise, but y'all the setups, bro. Fuck.
Continue.
Who all right, I'm excited for Loki because I mean it takes an apocalyptic event to like kick off an entire storyline for like several years at a time, and that's kind of what that's what Captain America did for the whole MCU with the Tesseract and shit. And so this whole multiverse war and shit. First of all, in any comic book, when multiverses collide, it's a massive event, and shit really comes out. People really come out unscathed by this shit. So, granted, I feel like Wanda definitely has a role to play because she's gonna show up in Doctor Strange, I think. And then you can't have the Avengers without without Cap, and we don't know what the new Avengers are gonna look like at this point. So Loki kind of kicked off the apocalyptic event that's gonna have to like band people together. So that has me excited because of the implications for the rest of everybody else. I mean, there's already at least one other movie that we know for a fact that directly falls from this. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp, because Kang the Conqueror is gonna show up in that bullshit, and and he's gonna be a problem. So that's the show I'm excited for.
And you know what? Honestly,
Fuck.
they kind of like that event affects everybody.
It does.
Everybody. So that makes so much sense to say Loki, but
But that's why
like,
it hurt so much, because it's like it felt so much was going on in that one episode. No closure. The end. Run the credits.
Right, exactly. It's too like as a story, Loki just feels like open-ended. Like exactly. So all right. Okay, that was really interesting because I thought everybody was gonna be saying Loki. That was gonna be the weird one that was like WandaVision.
Like dinosaurs.
You know what people call me about that clip? People call me about that clip. They're just like, "Was you serious? Was that a serious reaction?" And I was just like, "Yeah."
I have friends who would tell me at work, like, dinosaurs. Like she was so innocent. Like,
and then
That's so hot.
Okay, when Will dropped the video and I saw it and I saw the edit and I was just like, oh god. And so when Aaron came in, I was like, Aaron, look at this. And so he was watching it, and like when it got to my part, and he was just like, you said that? And I was
that's why I said that shit. That's why I edit that shit the way it did. Imagine editing that shit. I'm like, bro, the look of despair on my face when I heard that shit.
He literally got up and didn't say anything else to me. I was like, I thought it was a legit point.
There's a point there, but it just didn't connect. I get it after the fact. But,
bro, oh my god. Yeah, so if y'all don't know what we're talking about, watch our last throwback showdown, which was
link it down
Yu Hakusho. Yeah, we're gonna link it down below, but Yu Hakusho versus DBZ. And
first grade ass answer.
It definitely was. Anyways, let's move on to the last point. Let's get off this subject. Who cares? Did this TV series format work for you? Or do you want to go back to just movies like we did in the past? Did you like watching this TV format and knowing that's going to play a part of the
I think the TV series format has a place because you get more time for setup, and it's a lot more interesting that way. And like, don't get me wrong, I like the movies though, but like having like, because the stuff is kind of like filler without it actually being filler. It's not a waste of my time. You get more in depth into like characters and more in depth into to like certain story points and shit. And like they tried to do that once before, with like what was it, Agent Carter and
Mhm.
Agents of Shield though,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
got to a point where they clearly didn't give a fuck about the continuity, and they just kind of and they killed them both. And so yeah, this whole thing that they're doing, the renewed effort to do this, it's really good. It's a really good setup for the universe at large. It's a lot of world building and shit, and there are characters who would probably never get their own dedicated movie who are actually getting like screen time and features and shit, and you get to know more about them. So when you see them in those actual movies, you're more invested into that character because you know what they've been through, who they are, how they change, so on and so forth.
Okay. And like I keep thinking about this, like as fans of the MCU, of course we're gonna watch the shows. But what about them just straight up moviegoers? Like my mom, bless her heart, I had to force her to watch these shows because she don't know the word canon, but she didn't think these were canon. She literally thought that, like you said, Agent of Shield and like Gotham and stuff like that, that's not canon to the DCU, right?
Well,
Is that what it's
Gotham's
called?
definitely not canon to Marvel.
Well, no, I'm just
keep it a
saying,
buck. I
like
know
in general.
I'm being
Yeah.
I'm being an asshole. I know
Oh,
what you're
okay.
saying.
You're like, that's
Anyways.
fine. That's typical.
You're right.
I didn't want to
Do your
comment.
thing. But yeah, like how we all know that, like obviously that has something to do with that universe. My mom was thinking the same thing, and I had to convince her. I was like, no. This is actually going to play a part of Phase 4 in the MCU, and so she started watching it because of that. But imagine like some of the other like people that just movie watchers probably maybe not think that these shows are going to be canon to Phase 4 and how that's going to affect the movies that do come out in the future. It's just a thought, but obviously we're different, because we know. But yeah, what about you, Ken and Drea? What do y'all think? Does this work? This format?
Yes. I think it works because it's easy to invest in a TV series, easy to have emotional investment in a TV series, in a movie. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes for me, movies are like cinematic one night stands. I can watch it once and I'm good. Mm-hmm. Okay. if it falls flat, it falls flat. I'm not going to revisit it. At least with TV series, if you have a flat episode, you at least have a chance to pick it up.
Mm-hmm. So that'd be true. A booty call.
Yeah, well,
that's why I fuck with TV series.
Yeah, because it's for me, like with these, like it was not more like a TV series, more like a 6-hour movie broken up into parts, I would say.
Yeah, because they actually had Hollywood actors they can pay.
Well, because also not just that, but the production quality overall it's not up there, but it was a lot higher.
And the actors from the movies, like that really helped with like selling these TV series. If they said they had some like random Joe playing Loki, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm not watching this shit.
It would have been a strike.
Hey, no.
It'd been petitions.
They literally did have random niggas playing Loki. What are you talking about? The
shut up.
they literally had random
trolling me right now.
A fucking alligator play Loki.
He was my favorite Loki. Just throwing it out there.
I said the old one.
They had the black guy.
OG.
They had the black guy.
I'm tired of
Loki,
shit.
And that was the most trifling motherfucker, bro.
Of course.
And then the black one that looked like a reject Steel. Shaq Steel.
Hey, don't do Steel like that.
I like Steel. I like Steel.
Okay.
The character, and I kind of like the movie. It was a comedic relief, but I like.
I'm like, how do y'all not know this 7-foot ass motherfucker is this nigga in like a ton of steel, yo? How can you not? How can you not?
Blind as a bat.
How many people fit the bill, bro? You can't hide this with glasses.
So, kid, did it work for you?
It worked for me, I would say. I enjoyed it overall. Like with each of the series, I enjoyed it. If WandaVision was a movie, I feel like it probably would have worked out because of with that in particular, it felt a little dragged out in the beginning, so it could have been condensed into the movie size. But with Falcon Winter Soldier and uh, Loki, like there's a good amount of content in there where like it wouldn't have been able to fit all into the movie to really truly make sense. But the way it was spread, it was a good enough pace. I enjoyed the pace. It's a good like downhill chill to like set up the next. So
Okay.
WandaVision would have been clutch if they had a Jerry Springer episode, bro.
What?
You are not the father.
Wanda,
Father.
who are
Like-
these children?
No, I can't reproduce.
then Vashawn does a backflip. Like, fuck you and the monkey.
But you know what? One thing that irritated me about the series, especially like with WandaVision, is when they were obviously trying to set up other movies. Like you have Monica do a whole superhero pose at the very end, looking off into the distance. I'm like, you guys don't have to use this as an
Captain
advertising
Marvel.
point. Exactly. I'm like, what?
All the
I don't-
motherfuckers did was pose.
Exactly. I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't need. You don't need to use these TV series as advertisements. Just tell us a story. We know y'all trying to link up stuff.
They
Just
literally
let
did
me
it.
enjoy it.
They literally did it for the Vine when it wasn't even a Vine yet, bro.
They use their characters as product placements.
Oh well, I mean, I know y'all the men did not see Black Widow, but
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah,
paying
there-
$30 for
there-
that, and I definitely
We didn't pay
feel like-
$30 either.
Yeah, I paid a
definitely
good
wasn't- I wasn't paying
$6.
anything, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I even want to, bro. That's the thing.
honestly,
I didn't-
it doesn't matter.
I didn't like how Marvel and Disney treated her character in this whole series. Like,
And that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
we want to talk about, like in a later video. But I
Hey.
think that's me and
Yeah,
Dran.
that-
If you guys would like to participate in that,
yeah,
we want to talk about how MCU did.
for me, that was
Black
decided
Widow.
upon since the first Avengers. Like they mistreated that character so much.
Yeah, they really did.
That's why I think these TV series just shows development and their overall storytelling. They're actually starting to give a fuck about everybody else.
Mhm.
Like these shows, these movies at first, I didn't see that much depth in them. And then over time, when it got an expanded universe, they started to mature more. Even Tony starts to mature more. And now it's like they're gone. We retired these people. Now you want to focus on all these nuances on everybody else. Y'all want to talk about mental health. You guys want to talk about all these other little subjects.
Racism. And,
So it's like
mhm.
as if not only the MCU is evolving and maturing, but also Disney when it comes to the different narratives. Only for this shit.
if anybody
Not for their
needed-
family films.
If anybody needed a television show, it would have been Black Widow. She really didn't
Mhm.
need. I felt like that. Nah, I don't think that she needs a movie like a
Oh,
Mhm.
Disney Plus
okay.
television show would have worked better.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I would have cared for a
Oh, no.
TV series, but that's a topic for another time.
That is.
I mean,
This is a
'cause-
topic for another time. Just
Yeah.
because from what we saw in the movie, I
Okay.
was just
Underwhelmed.
underwhelmed.
I'm
It
like,
felt
that's
like
a
an
whole-
afterthought.
I mean, that's essentially a whole spy movie, right?
Yeah.
It is.
That would have worked so much better as a series, though. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
In
you.
any capacity.
But
Alright.
I'm gonna save my little 2-piece on that shit.
Yeah, we
right.
definitely got to talk about that soon. All right. Any other thoughts about which MCU show was better before we wrap it up? Anybody got anything else to say about it?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
We good?
I just wonder if Sam's gonna have another suit next time he shows up, or he's gonna be the same.
Because you don't like that suit, right?
You like it's too much
Uh,
a
blue.
little too bright.
Nah,
yeah, it's
that-
too,
That's a
too
problem,
loud.
too.
Too
white.
loud. Too loud.
Make it black, red, and green.
He's already loud because he's black.
The Wakandas didn't do that shit as a last clap back. Like we'll get the suit. And he like, what colors am I wearing?
Right? Oh,
Hey, he
super
gonna
black.
let him let him make a trip to Wakanda. Bucky be like, hey, let's go hook these. I'm gonna hook you up.
Ice cream paint job.
For,
You think,
in exchange for a date with his sister. That's how you gonna do it.
I'm about to say, I think Bucky had holes in Wakanda.
They wasn't fucking with
He
White
wasn't
Wolf with
fucking-
the one
he wasn't
arm.
fucking with him though, but like it's kind of like, bro.
They respect, but he was that bald-headed stepchild
if
in
you-
the goddamn,
nah,
you know,
if you
yard
get-
just eating hay.
I mean, you get exposed to the culture. It's only so long. It's only for so long before you resist.
He's
Like-
charming. I can see.
I-
Like, yo,
I
I'm gonna
can
give
see
you a
him
little.
looking and then like, look at that colonizer. trying to heal.
But
Look at us fixing white boys.
Kind of cute though. I mean, that'll be me. I'll be that one African.
I would too. I'm like, he cute though.
Right, he cute though. I mean, it's been a while for me. You know, let's see what he talking about. All right, let's wrap it up. All right.
What that white wolf do?
Gonna howl at you.
All right, okay. That's all we have for you today. Let us know down below which show you enjoyed the most and which one has you more excited about Phase 4. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Echo 4 is out. Bye.
Deuces.
Deuces.